Growing Jamaica's economy is a job that must involve all of us, along with alliances in research, production and marketing. To earn more and buy less in the global marketplace, we must all buy Jamaican. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. We're so glad you joined us for this edition of Jamaica Magazine. In our show today, we'll tell you what you can do to help build the economy and your wealth, plus clearing your goods in the Christmas rush, hassle-free. Later, implementing the sports tourism plan. So sit back and stay tuned for these and more. You don't want to miss it.
Fever, rash, joint pain and red eyes. All common signs of the Zika virus or ZIKV. Symptoms are usually mild, lasting anywhere from a few days to a week. Jamaica has no Zika cases, but if it gets here, it would only be transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Don't give Zika a chance. Prevent the breeding of these pesky mosquitoes.
The use of oil, cooking oil, a little tip of cooking oil poured on the surface of the water, suffocates the larvae and prevents them hatching out. So persons can do that.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Growth in business and increasing export are recognized as the most viable means for rapid growth of Jamaica's gross domestic product, GDP. It's one of the measuring sticks of economic progress, and the government wants more businesses, small and large, to get on board. We have more in this feature.
In order that Jamaica's participation in global trade can significantly improve the lives of the Jamaican people, it is important for us to consistently strengthen our export capacity through a major and deliberate strategy.
And that is where the National Export Strategy comes into play. Phase 2 was launched in August to broaden and improve the environment for business and trade.
Achieving the growth we need will require that we activate dormant exporters, expand our production base, and encourage new entrepreneurs in the export sector.
The end goal? Economic growth and job creation.
I believe we all agree that an increase in exports presents the most viable option for rapid GDP growth and increased investor confidence in our country.
And this confidence is growing. Just recently, the Agriculture Ministry, farmers, exporters, and a contingent from the United States met to finalize trade exports. And the National Export Strategy 2 will take that further, as it focuses on key sectors such as manufacturing, mining, film and animation, agro-processing, and information technology-enabled services.
We have no choice but to fully integrate our economy into global value chains for the production and delivery of goods and services around the world. This will make the Jamaican economy more open for investments and better ready for increased exports.
Indeed, one of the main advantages of NES 2 is the deliberate attempt to clearly identify the owners and stakeholders of each export initiative, and the development of a system to ensure ongoing communication to facilitate monitoring and evaluation of its implementation.
NES 2 will run from 2015 to 2019, continuing the platform that was set from Phase 1 between 2009 and 2013. For the next 4 years, NES 2 will continue to increase the country's export capacity to improve our trade performance.
The government is committed to creating the enabling environment to support your success, because your success is Jamaica's success. We're on a course. We have to continue on this course in the interest of Jamaica's economy, and more so to the benefit of our people.
Tied to the growth agenda is employment. And the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, KSAC, is facilitating that through its Enterprise Assistance Program. In February 2015, the corporation launched its $2 million program for assisting young people to start or develop their own micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, which will facilitate employment. The aim is to create sustainable economic activities that will benefit the residents of the municipality. The beneficiaries are between the ages of 18 and 29.
We decided to support this group as we recognize that they face significant challenges when it comes to finding employment.
The financial assistance took the form of 3 grants. The first, a wage incentive.
And that is 5 grants of up to $130,000 each. The wage incentives will be offered to businesses with up to 10 employees who see the potential of employing young persons between the ages of 18 and 29.
The second is startup grants, targeting the same age group.
These grants of up to $50,000 will help applicants who have a viable business idea and just need that extra financial support to launch their business.
And people who need assistance to take their business to the next level benefited from the Business Development Grant. 7 of these grants, valued at up to $100,000, were disbursed to help with the expansion, diversification, and growth of businesses. In June 2015, 6 aspiring entrepreneurs were awarded a combined $430,000 in grants across the 3 areas. Their business interests range from farming to internet and printing services.
By utilizing this program, persons can benefit from training, guidance, and mentorship,
which will allow these businesses to learn from successful, established business owners and business advisors.
22 businesses will benefit directly from the program, with another 10 or 15 local businesses expected to be contracted by successful applicants for the supply of goods and services. The KSAC Enterprise Assistance Program is a key component of the Local Economic Development Program of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. So as government strengthens the export platform through policies and programs and enables growth in businesses, we can expect an increase in jobs and growth in the country's economic performance.
Householders, business people, school administrators, be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET.
It's customary increased numbers of persons clearing goods at the ports in time for Christmas. Yearly improvements at customs operations have been geared at making that task hassle-free. If you're one of those persons trying to get your Christmas barrel, this next feature has the information you'll want to know.
Business as usual at our island's ports all year round. Business overload at this time of year. Personal barrels, parcels, and commercial imports of all kinds arrive in greater numbers in tandem with the lights and sounds heralding the Yuletide season. Getting those goods off the ports can be a long, frustrating process for some people. This year, not so much.
We intend to provide to our clients, especially being sensitive of the current economic climate, and the ability to turn their containers around as quickly as possible.
Automation systems have drastically reduced processing times at the wharves.
This daily stripping schedule is also available on our website, and you can, as Christmas comes, you'll be able to get stripping schedules for several days forward. So you can just go on the website, as I said, click on the link. One is called container charges, one is called stripping schedule. You just go and access your information, and you have updates throughout the day. So you know when your container is stripping, scheduled for stripping, ongoing inspection, etc.
A 2-hour turnaround time is offered for commercial containers. And there's the one-stop shop.
The one-stop shop actually is the environment in which we have regulators from almost all our agencies required for the import or export of materials, and we also have quite an extensive distribution of customs officers. KCT being the environment in which we deliver the largest number of domestic containers, will be facilitating our clients by extending our gates up until 6 p.m. as of this December 2nd. And with regard to our warehouse, we will also extend our warehouse times up to 7 p.m. if required.
Saturday openings may also be accommodated up to December 21.
We believe the Saturday opening gives our customers the convenience of the extra day without the pressure of having to get back to work to deliver cargo. When you're coming to Kingston Wharf, also remember that you will have to get your bill of lading from your freight forwarder. So if you're coming on Saturday and your broker or your freight forwarder is not open on Saturday, you would have to make arrangements to get those bill of ladings before.
The flat rate for clearing barrels containing personal effects is $6,500 per barrel. Technological systems are in place to quickly locate your barrels.
For our full container load customers, you can get your charges online. If you go to the Kingston Wharf website, which is www.kingstonwharfs.com.jm, there on the left-hand side of the homepage, you will see links for container charges. All you have to know is the reported date and your container number, and you'll get the full breakdown of your charges.
Full container load customers can also pay online through the Jamaica Customs e-payment service. As of 2014, that service will benefit barrel customers when Jamaica Customs rolls out its new IT system. For now, full container load customers also have access to a reservation system where they can collect containers up to 6 p.m. That's outside the regular 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. operating hours.
There is no additional charge for making those reservations or if you have to break those reservations.
Commercial importers can also take advantage of pre-clearance procedures. As for those going the normal route, here's the process. Pay your duties, go to a berth platform for the bill of lading. This plus your import entry form will be cross-checked with those forwarded by the shipping agent at the wharf's manifest counter. If the customs surveyor approves your import entry, a customs seal will be applied. You enter the port warehouse and indicate your import or imports to an accompanying custom officer. If all checks out, you're issued a gate pass and are now free to leave the berth platform and wharf with your goods in tow. To find out more, contact Jamaica Customs at 967-3288, Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or email jamaicacustoms.gov.jm.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Visitors to our island come mainly to enjoy our warm climate, scenic beauty and culture. But the lucrative business of sports and sport tourism is also alluring. The government is working to capitalize on this growing area of tourism. More in this feature.
Jamaica, home to world-renowned athletes, a few of the best game facilities, and award-winning rest and relaxation spots. These represent two of the country's biggest assets, sport and tourism. A marriage of the two has the potential to bring great earnings and development to the country, and government is positioning Jamaica to make the investment and reap the rewards.
Sports tourism is any visitor that comes to our country to either participate in sport or to view a sporting event.
We sometimes don't realize the impact that sport has on persons across the world. I remember once standing at Courtly right at the porte-cochere, and there was a gentleman coming back sweaty and hot, and I said to him, "Sir, where are you coming from?" Walking on the road, and he says, "I just fulfilled my lifelong dream." And I was like, "Really?" And he says, "Yes." He's an Australian fellow. And he said, "I just walked to Sabina Park, got the groundsman to let me in, went on the pitch, laid myself out, took pictures, and he said, from I'm a child, I'm dreaming of coming to Jamaica and having that experience."
That's a testament to the power of brand Jamaica as a sporting destination. In 2012, the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment established the Sports Tourism Implementation Committee. Its job is to provide the framework to sustainably develop sport tourism and to leverage local and international sport events to increase visitor arrivals. A year later, the Ministry of Sport tabled the National Sport Policy, which includes plans to develop sport tourism. The two ministries are jointly pursuing the plan, and already their efforts have led to the birth of a new initiative, Jamaica Sport. Jamaica Sport was officially launched in October 2014 to explore the commercial opportunities provided by sport tourism.
This entity, Jamaica Sport, will anchor and execute the objectives of a major events attraction program and outlines a blueprint for establishing Jamaica as a major sports tourism destination in the region.
There are four main strategic areas of focus, working in tandem with the National Council on Sport to develop a mechanism for bidding on or hosting strategically important sport events. It also aims to develop a methodology to identify and select indigenous sport activities that can help market Jamaica as a major events attraction destination in the region. Jamaica Sport will also work with the Planning Institute of Jamaica and the Jamaica Tourist Board to develop an economic model for assessing sport events. And a partnership will be pursued with InSport Jamaica to develop athletes and nurture world-class talent as part of an athlete ambassador type program. That program should raise the public profile of elite athletes for the country's economic benefit. Possibilities include marketing sites linked to some of Jamaica's top athletes.
Usain Bolt's house could eventually one day become such a site, where people want to see where he grew up.
The potential for developing sport tourism as a viable market segment in Jamaica is tremendous. In 2013, 4,000 people visited the country, mainly for sport, and the belief is that the number could be significantly more, particularly as the country continues to bask in its dominance in track and field at successive Olympic Games and World Championships. For example, prior to the 2012 London Olympics, Jamaica experienced 4 consecutive years of negative growth in visitor arrivals from the United Kingdom. But in 2013, months after the Games, the country had 4.7% growth, which has continued to as recently as August 2014, when data reflected a 13% growth in arrivals from the UK.
The range of offers in Jamaica are endless, from the traditional golf, tennis, diving, track and field, and sailing, to more interesting activities such as surfing, kiteboarding, and BMX bike riding. Yes, we pretty much have it all.
Jamaica Sport represents a mix of private and public sector stakeholders. They are selling the point that Jamaica is open for business, and sport tourism is yet another product proudly representing brand Jamaica.
No one is above the law. we encourage all Jamaicans to join the fight against corruption, organized criminality, these nefarious activities that stymies our country's progress. I want to encourage all Jamaicans to call. We have a secure line, 1-800-CORRUPT. Call anytime and we will treat the information received with the highest standard of confidentiality. We need your help. We want to elicit your support.
Call 1-800-CORRUPT. That's 1-800-267-7878. Be the change. Report corruption today.
Up next, the top stories making news this week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. The Ministry of Health stepped up its preparedness plan this week to minimize the impact if the Zika virus enters the Jamaican population.
We are going to do everything in our powers, everything our very best to eliminate the mosquito, to identify the virus if it is here, or when it comes, or if it comes, and to make sure we do our part to minimize the impact on our population, our economy, and our people.
Training started for senior health workers this week and will continue with other public health workers across the island. In the meantime, the ministry has ramped up its public education, encouraging persons to search for and kill the mosquito that spreads Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. 1,000 young people will be hired and trained to assist that process. And with Brazilian health officials reporting a possible link between Zika and birth defects in some newborn babies, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Marian Bullock de Cas is urging pregnant women to take precautions and prevent being bitten by mosquitoes. It was also reported this week that the Ministry of Health would be carrying out a re-verification exercise to determine whether to proceed with the burial of 65 babies whose bodies have been at the morgues of the Kingston Public and Victoria Jubilee hospitals. Following a meeting last Sunday, Portfolio Minister Horace Daly said he was satisfied that the required procedures were followed before an order was given to bury the deceased babies. And while the records showed that all families had signed the consent forms for the state to bury the babies, he said the ministry would seek further confirmation. The Health Ministry also reported that none of the neonatal deaths were as a result of a bacterial outbreak. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin says Jamaica's trade deficit fell by 11.5% in the first 8 months of this calendar year. Total imports for the period was $3.4 billion due to less spending on imported food and fuel. Exports totaled roughly $895 million. 4 schools in central Manchester, Bel Air and Mount St. Joseph High, as well as Zion Hill and Mackintosh Memorial Primary, have received additional classroom blocks to better accommodate students. Meanwhile, ground has been broken for the construction of a 12-classroom block at Mandeville Primary and Junior High. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller says it will officially take the school off the shift system.
This expansion will reduce overcrowding and bring classroom teacher ratio in line with the Ministry of Education standards. Sanitation facilities will also be improved. There will also be increased access for persons with disabilities.
Work has begun on the 2-kilometer concrete roadway to access the Riverton City disposal site in St. Andrew. The $1.8 million project is being funded through a grant from the Mexican government and is scheduled to be completed in September 2016.
So this road, coupled with the government's ordering now of 17 new compactors, will see a major transformation of how we deal with garbage collection in Jamaica.
Jamaican jerk is now a registered geographical indication following this week's official launch by a team from the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. Industry Minister Anthony Hilton said government was seeking to register other products by using geographical indication.
In Jamaica, we have several potential GIs, including cocoa, pimento, ginger, castor oil, Jamaican roots wines, logwood honey, ganja for medical purposes at the moment, and other natural products from the nutraceutical industry.
The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed amendments to the Jury Act to improve the justice system.
The list of jurors available has been increased. The array of jurors to try cases has been reduced. The issues that might affect jurors in their employment, we have sought to address.
After finding an 83% non-compliance rate from the inspection of over 200 block makers, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica BSJ says it will be spearheading an investigation to further identify non-compliant block makers. The Bureau said it would also work more closely with the Block Makers Association of Jamaica to sensitize its members on the required standards and encourage them to register their companies. Members of the public can visit bsj.org.jm to view the list of approved block makers. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller this week expressed sadness at the sudden passing of Roman Catholic priest Monsignor Richard Albert. Monsignor Albert devoted nearly 40 years of service to the Catholic ministry in Jamaica and is the founder of the St. Patrick's Foundation and Stella Maris Foundation and steered several philanthropic activities in Jamaica. Monsignor Albert died Monday evening at hospital after complaining about feeling ill. He was 69 years old. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
When using an automated banking machine ABM, ensure the machine is in a location you are comfortable with. And when you enter, be sure to close the door. Examine the machine before you insert your debit card. And never enter your card if the machine has a suspicious device attached to it. More important, don't allow strangers to assist you in conducting a transaction. And remember, treat your debit card like cash. Keep it in a safe place.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. We're back tomorrow with more useful information. In the meantime, keep the link. Use our Facebook and Twitter pages, YouTube channel and the JIS website to stay in touch and get the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to share the love and be your brother's keeper in the upcoming festive season.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.